So we have some breaking news that Breonna Taylor will not be getting justice from the grand jury in her case. They just came out with an indictment of one of the 3 officers involved, but it has nothing to do with what actually happened to Breonna Taylor. I'm going to read this out to you because it gets into some legal technicalities, and it notes, former Detective Brent Hankison was indicted on 3 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment. Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly was not indicted. Detective Miles Cosgrove was not indicted. A wanton endangerment charge is a Class D felony and carries a penalty of 1 to 5 years in prison. The charges read by Judge Annie O'Connell on Wednesday said that Hankison wantonly shot a gun into 3 apartments. The occupants of those apartments were identified by initials. None of them were Breonna Taylor, BT. That means the grand jury didn't find that Hankison wantonly fired into her apartment. The judge has set a $15,000 cash bond for Hankison. That's awful. Absolutely awful. Unacceptable. What they're basically saying is that everything they did in Breonna Taylor's apartment, just slamming in there, taking a woman's life, an innocent woman's life, all of that was good police work. Or at the very least, not such bad police work that they merited any criminal liability. None. There was nothing wanton about taking Breonna Taylor's life. The only thing he did wrong was that in entering there, he dislodged into other apartments, causing wanton danger to those people, which I'm sure is very fair, and those people deserve justice as well, don't get me wrong. But there's no justice here for Breonna Taylor. And people are asking, what is it going to take? Because giving her family money, fine, that's good. They deserve payment for their pain and suffering. But my God, this is not justice for Breonna Taylor. Any one of us, especially if you're from a minority community, you're just sitting in your apartment and the police come in and you lose your life. And then they face no goddamn consequences for it. None. None at all. And you can tell that the city of Louisville, Kentucky knows this is going to be, an awful circus because of how they've basically allowed the police to get away with literal murder. And they're trying to curfew people down. They're trying to silence protest. They're trying to silence the voice of marginalized people who do not get justice, who have not gotten justice historically, and doesn't look like they're going to get justice in the near future, all because they would rather have peace than justice. It's unacceptable. I know people are going to be protesting this decision, and I support those protests 100%. These police officers got away with something awful. Awful, awful, awful. And of course, I get it. I get that in a court of law, you are innocent until proven guilty, and everyone, even people I find abhorrent and I disagree with, deserve a fair trial. But the grand jury was literally dealing with a case of people barging into someone's property and just ending them. It's something that anybody else would go get life for. But because these were boys in blue, they get to walk, or one of them might get a short sentence. And I'd be very skeptical if he spends anywhere near 5 years, losing his freedom. $15,000 bail for taking a life. I wonder how that compares to other folks. Absolutely unacceptable. Breonna Taylor deserved justice. Lots of other black people have deserved justice and haven't gotten it. And it's unacceptable. And you're going to see protests, and you're going to see right-wingers try to pass this off as rioting. But what it really is a cry for justice. And not enough of us have heard that cry.